Breaking news coming in. Protests are taking place at Chennai's press club against the arrest of cartoonist Bala with huge banners depicting his critical cartoon. Tamil cartoonist Bala was arrested yesterday and then later released on bail for a cartoon he posted on Facebook mocking Chief Minister EPS and his government over the self-immolation of an entire family before the Tirunelveli collector 2 weeks ago. The cartoon shows the collector, the commissioner of police and the chief minister covering their private parts with wads of cash as an infant lies burning in front of them. The cartoonist was arrested for this article which the government claims was defamatory. BJP leaders and representatives from EPS's government have come on record to say that there's a fine line between satire and disrespect, and the cartoonist crossed it with this cartoon. We have Pramod Madhav who's with us live this evening. Pramod, take us to the protests that are happening right now at the press club.
Certainly, Simi, this particular action by the Tamil Nadu government to arrest a cartoonist because he depicted one cartoon of a very sorrowful event where 4 people died in Tirunelveli, that too inside the collector's office because they could not battle against loan sharks. That's what he wanted to show there. The whole state was under a total sorrow when we could see the visuals of 2 children, 2-year-old and 4-year-old, dying along with their father and mother. And this is the caricature he did. There you see that this is right now being displayed at Chennai Press Club. This huge banner depicting a child. This child's, the way the child is lying down is almost like the Iron child that was during the Syrian refugee crisis that occurred. So he has shown that along with the Tirunelveli police commissioner, the Nellai collector and the chief minister, and all he has done is that he wanted to show that no matter what, for what reason a life is lost, people are only behind the money. That is what he wanted to show with his caricature, because cartoon is something through which you depict satirism. That's what he did, and for that only he got arrested. And that is for that reason, Chief Minister EPS is like facing a huge flag within the state, Simi.
Right, and Pramod, despite these protests by civil rights activists and journalists after Bala's arrest, representatives from the government have gone on record and said that the cartoonist had crossed the line. In fact, we managed to get a reaction from one of EPS's ministers who said that this cartoon was plain disrespectful of the chief minister, which is why he was arrested.
Well, Simi, I got to tell you that how do they draw the line seems to be very confusing over here, because when during Jayalalitha's period they had their own mouthpiece called as this MGR, Namade MGR, and for DMK they had a mouthpiece called as Murasoli. So they used to battle each other through cartoons only. Recently also in Murasoli you saw a cartoon where EPS and OPS were depicted like mosquitoes, dengue mosquitoes, drinking the life and blood of the people. That is how cartoon is being used here, not just for many decades in Tamil Nadu, for freedom of expression. This is how cartoon was used to combat any kind of social cause for social justice, and that's what it's been done here. That is why all the journalists have assembled over here protesting the arrest of cartoon Bala. And not just that, Bala has also stated, he has replied to the government stating that he did it purposefully because he was so much sad noticing what has occurred, and he will, if he finds something wrong with be it Modi or the chief minister, he will definitely do that. The protest has also started over here right now, Simi. You could see the people over here carrying the poster banners, carrying the picture drawn by Cartoon Bala itself, Simi. Well, I have one of the protesters over here who's protesting. Sir, yeah, what are you doing here? Why do you think the government of Tamil Nadu is against? You think there is a curve of freedom of expression?
பத்திரிகையாளர்களுடைய சுதந்திர நசுக்கக்கூடிய வகையில் தொடர்ந்து தமிழக அரசு ஈடுபட்டு வருகிறது. அதனோட தொடர்ச்சியாக இப்போது கார்ட்டூனிஸ்ட் பாலா மீது கைது செய்திருக்கிறார்கள். இத்தகைய அச்சுறுத்தல்களை பத்திரிகையாளர்களை ஒன்றும் செய்யாது.
He explains that Tamil Nadu government is working against the Tamil Nadu government is working against the interests of the journalists, and they want to curb the freedom of expression. That is why the protest here. But let me ask him, is there a kind of draw line that has been crossed over here? இவர் இந்த கார்ட்டூன் மூலமா ஏதாவது ஒரு லைனை கிராஸ் பண்ணிருக்காரா தமிழ்நாடு அரசு சொல்லுது?
இல்லை, சுதந்திர போராட்ட காலத்திலேயே நேருவையோ ராஜேந்திர பிரசாத்தையோ நிர்வாணமாக போட்டு தங்களுடைய கருத்துக்களை பத்திரிகையாளர் வெளிப்படுத்தியிருக்காங்க. கேலி சித்திரம் என்பது அரசை விமர்சிக்கக்கூடிய அரசினுடைய கொள்கையை, அரசினுடைய செயல்பாட்டின் மீது விமர்சிக்கக்கூடிய விஷயம் தானே தவிர எந்த வகையிலும் அது வந்து ஒரு எல்லைக்கோட்டை தாண்டியதாகவோ தனிப்பட்ட முறையிலேயோ அவர்களுடைய ஈகோ டச் பண்றாங்கயோ இல்லை.
Well, Simi, this is the explanation that is given by the journalist of Tamil Nadu, stating that how it could be crossing the line when this kind of like caricature of drawing the leaders with this kind of intention has been done way before freedom struggle itself. And he asks this like question as like why so this kind of like cartoon is drawn to show the black reality, the dark reality that is prevailing in the society, and that can only be done through these kind of measures because a cartoon is something that cannot carry words, Simi.
Angry journalists and activists, they're protesting outside the press club in Chennai against the arrest of G. Bala, a cartoonist who was arrested for making that cartoon and putting it up on Facebook. He has now been released on bail. We managed to get a reaction from him when he was walking out of jail. Take a look.
ஒரு கார்ட்டூன் வரைஞ்சேன். அந்த கார்ட்டூனுக்காக நீங்கள் அரெஸ்ட் பண்ணி கூட்டு வந்திருக்கீங்க. அந்த கார்ட்டூன் வரைஞ்சதில் நான் எந்த வகையிலையும் வருத்தப்படல. அந்த கார்ட்டூன் வரைஞ்சது உண்மைதான். அரசு நிர்வாகம் செயலிழந்து போனதை நான் அப்படி தான் அம்மனமாக தான் வரைஞ்சேன். அதுதான் உண்மை.
நீங்கள் தொடர்ந்து வரைவீங்களா?
தொடர்ந்து கண்டிப்பாக வரைவேன். இதை விட அதிகமாக வரைவேன். மோடியில் ஆரம்பிச்சு எடப்பாடி வரைக்கும் நான் வந்து கார்ட்டூன் வரைகிறேன்.
We have Pramod Madhav, who's with us live from the Chennai Press Club where that protest is taking place. Social civil rights activists and journalists have gathered there outside the Press Club to protest against the arrest of G. Bala. Pramod, Bala, when he walked out of jail, said that he's going to continue criticizing the governments in power from Modi to EPS for inaction on the ground, and if they fail to govern, he's obviously not deterred by that arrest.
Well, Simi, journalism is called as a fifth pillar of society, and that is what he wants to depict over there, claiming that like if he sees any kind of action that is against social justice, he will definitely depict it. In fact, I want to show a particular frame once again. What he says here is like very much sad, but this is also considered by many as one way or the best way, that particular incident where 4 people died because they could not battle loan shark. That seems to be the big point over here. They could not battle loan shark even after having the legal system, judicial system and the administrative system. That is what he's like depicting over here also. We have the chief minister, we have the collector and the commissioner having been there, even he giving them 5 times plea. They could not help him in any way. That too against this kind of like loan shark thing, and that's what he wanted to depict over there. This cartoon, though it was seen by the government as a kind of like a very, very harsh one, from the people's side, it got kind of like various applause because the way though the people could be naked, it also brought out the naked truth, Simi.
Right, and Pramod, can you tell us once again the circumstances under which the person committed suicide and killed his entire family?
Certainly, Simi. The person's name was Isaki Muthu. He, his wife and 2 daughters, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. He went to collector's office 2 weeks ago, and over there, the presumption was that he wanted to go and meet the collector to provide a plea for the 6th time that he wanted some help, some kind of help from loan sharks, all because his wife borrowed 1.25 lakhs from a person called Muthu Lakshmi, and she had paid back in a kind of like EMI kind of like way in almost since 8 months 2.3 lakhs. Since the loan sharks did not allow them to live a normal life, and that is when he went to the collector not once but 5 times. The plea was then passed to the commissioner, then from the commissioner to the SP, and then from there it all again went back to the police officer and the same place, but he could not get any help over there.
Right.
Out of frustration is what Isaki Muthi's brothers claims. That is when he did that. He took them over there, poured petrol and burnt themselves and died, trying to show that it was so hard for them to live that they could kill themselves in such a way, Simi.
Pramod, stay on with us. We're also being joined by Mr. Narayan Lakshman, editor Hindu, who's with us on the phone line. Mr. Lakshman, thanks so much for speaking to India today. You know, Tamil Nadu government finally buckling under pressure and agreeing to release Bala on bail. But this trend, this crackdown on the press actually shows a trend that we're witnessing around the country. It's basically a violation of the freedom of expression and the right of the press, freedom of the press.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have seen this happening in a number of cases, and of course, in Tamil Nadu itself, we've had a rather unpleasant history of clamping down on freedom of expression, particularly affecting the media. And of course, this also extends to private citizens. You've seen the Perumal Murugan case, and of course, even in our own case, in the Hindu, if you remember, Jayalalitha slammed a number of cases against her administration, rather slammed privilege motions and other things against us and other newspapers as well. So unfortunately, while some people hope that maybe this turn of in the politics of the state, the Palaniswamy government might have a break with the past and might adopt a more an approach which allows more space for the media. This is unfortunately a very retrograde step, and it suggests that the same attitude towards freedom of expression, which is quite draconian, is actually continuing.
Absolutely. And Mr. Lakshman, just last week a person, if I'm not mistaken, was arrested for sharing some comments with one of his friends on Facebook about Prime Minister Modi. It was in a private chat, yet that person was arrested. It shows a crackdown on not just the press but also civil society and the government's unwillingness to accept any sort of criticism.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is quite disturbing because what you're seeing here is the use of the punitive power of the state, that is the government itself, to enforce laws in an unfair manner against freedom of expression, whether it's by private citizens or by media. And this is, however, not going to stop any media houses or private citizens from expressing themselves. We've seen these stories in The Wire as well. The Wire magazine, which had to do with Amit Shah, and then also with the India Foundation and Shaurya Doval, Ajit Doval, NSA's son. So this is not going to stop, and I think we are going to witness some sort of a climax where this is where citizens and the media are going to continue expressing themselves, but this government is going to have to at some point reconcile with the fact that India does constitutionally enshrine the right to freedom of expression, and that cannot be taken away from us.
Absolutely, the Constitution enshrines the right to freedom of expression. Narayan Lakshman, they're referring to two articles published in the online magazine Wire. One which had spoken about Amit Shah's son's company and how it grew from 5,000 to 80 crores in a matter of few months. And the second story about Ajit Doval's son Shaurya Doval and his association with a so-called NGO which has an FCRA license and has sitting ministers on its board of directors. There's the question of There's a question of conflict of interest that was raised by The Wire. Of course, the website is now being bombarded with several lawsuits. We also have Nasir Hussain, Congress leader, who's with us on the phone line. Mr. Hussain, a protest we're witnessing here in Chennai against the arrest of the cartoonist Bala, who was put behind bars for putting out a cartoon which the EPS government claims was disrespectful. Mr. Hussain, are you with me?
Yeah.
Mr. Hussain, what do you make of this move by the EPS government to arrest a cartoonist who'd actually put out a satirical piece against the government on Facebook?
Whether it's a cartoonist, a journalist, a painter, whoever it is, cannot be arrested, cannot be threatened, cannot be punished by any government for raising a voice in their own creative form. Freedom of speech and expression is something very, very fundamental to any democracy. In India, we have been practicing this for a very, very long time now. But unfortunately, of late, not only in Tamil Nadu, we have seen in many other places where journalists, cartoonists, painters, authors, and people who raise voices of dissent, whether it is Gauri language in Karnataka, Kalburgi in Karnataka, Pansare, Dhabulkar there, there's so much being shot and killed, so many incidents happening. This shows that there's a rising intolerance not only with the various governments but also political parties and ideologies who just want who just doesn't want to tolerate anything against them. I think this is a sorry state of affairs. Saner people with some amount of intellect and progressive people should rise in protest against these kind of archaic laws and these kind of despotic actions.
Mr. Nasir Hussain, thanks so much for speaking to India Today.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.